Welcome to another episode of Bozzelli's TV, everyone. The most watched and most interesting wine show on the internet. Why are we the most interesting wine show on the internet? And we're not the most watched. I was just kidding. But why are we, Holly?
Because wine is a food.
Thank you so much to perennial special guest Holly Rocco Feraci of Republic National Distributing Company, an awesome company that's a top 10 place to work and also second largest distributor in the nation, with a lot of like big words in their name. But we love them and we love Holly. She has been such an asset to the show and our channel. And without Holly, this probably, I'd be on the couch probably. But enjoying some fantastic wine because she's studying to be a master of wine too. So that's awesome. And we support her in this journey. And I think that's when our exams.
I just finished my last two exams. I have my paper due at the end of July, and we can just all knock on wood. And then that's it.
Awesome. And I'm sure she's gonna pass with flying colors, and we're gonna celebrate. We're gonna have to do something special. We're gonna have
some GH Mom champagne.
Some GH Mom champagne.
Yeah.
Why are we gonna have that? I don't know. Maybe because we have a superstar on the show today, Jessica Bonaroti of Pernod Ricard. The D's are silent in this French company's name. They're an awesome company, and you know Holly and I really do strive to give you compelling content. We don't just want to be cute, or we also want to be educational, and so that's why we have Jessica on the show today. She's awesome. We actually had a pre-tasting with her wines. They were so good, and so I'm so excited. I'm so excited today. And yes, you know when I get excited, I always forget to introduce myself. So I'm Mike Bozzelli, your host today, and this is a special show. It's a French company, and they're the French creators of Conviviality. So there you go. We just expanded your vocabulary too today. So the French creators of Conviviality, an awesome brand behind some of the trusted names that you've probably grown up with, like I did. On the spirit side, Jameson, Kahlua, Absolut Vodka, love them all. But I didn't know that their wine portfolio was equally impressive. Thanks to Jessica, she's educated me on that, and that's why we're having her on the show today. And we may have a guest appearance by a cat. If we do, just please excuse that. No. This is a cat-friendly show, as you guys know, and I'm just gonna put this guy right here. But yes. So thank you, Jessica, for making the time again. Thank you for the pre-tasting. So Jessica Bonaroti of Pernod Ricard, and as you know, because you watch my show faithfully, I always ask our superstar guests how they got their start in the business and how they ended up where they are today. So Jessica, how'd you get your start in the wine game, and how'd you end up with this French behemoth, creator of Conviviality?
Yeah, you might have been the creator of Conviviality.
Really?
You're pretty convivial, and for those of you who don't know, convivial is just about fun and sharing great moments, and that's what we're here to do today.
Yeah.
And you're very good at it.
Thank you. We tried, Jessica.
Yeah. So I'm with Pernod now, and I was with Pernod in the past, but I started out in event planning and in DC for 15 years. Started out event planning, got into restaurant event planning, got into restaurant PR marketing, got to open a bunch of restaurants, a bunch of Latin restaurants. Worked for a self-made gentleman named Mauricio, who opened, we probably opened 6 restaurants under the name Latin Concepts. And from there, I went to work where Holly works with Republic National Distributing, and was there for a good, wonderful 7 years, and then made the jump to the supplier side and with Pernod Ricard now.
Let's back up a little bit. You mentioned Mauricio, who's a famous DC restaurateur. Did you open Mate?
I did.
This is super cool, guys. I didn't know. A little bonus today. Mate was the ultimate hotspot years ago, so I really want to know what was on that wine list. It was a hotspot before there were hotspots. Mate was the spot, and it's actually it's under new ownership today, but it was the spot for a long time, thanks to Jessica.
Same ownership.
Same ownership.
Different name.
Different name. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Susheria, and the chef there is cooking even more exciting things than he used to. It's actually Ecuadorian Latin fusion, and they serve some of these wines there. So still in the family with Mate, which is now Susheria in Georgetown.
Awesome. I did not know that. We
Yeah.
should maybe do a vlog there, Holly.
Sure.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
But these wines are so popular, they're not even in stock. So let me just give you that caveat, guys. These wines are not in
They're
stock.
coming. They're coming.
They're coming on a slow ship.
They'll be here by next Wednesday.
Okay, so we're gonna be fine. And
From Spain.
From Spain, and Jessica, because she favors us, has already allocated so many to us, so they'll be available on casewinelife.com. And we're really excited. But I'm sorry. So you ended up at a distributor, and then you made the jump to a supplier.
Right.
Wow. And how long did you say you were at on the distributor level?
7 years.
7 years. Okay. And which supplier did you first start working for?
Pernod.
Pernod. Okay. Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So the wine company that she's representing today so beautifully, she's working with now. We're really excited. And this company is doing a lot for women's empowerment. They have their North American CEO is a no-nonsense beast, and I really appreciate that. Her name is Anne Mukherjee, and she kicks ass, and I love that. This company is also doing a lot for sustainability, Holly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
Global
we're
projects.
interested. Yeah, we're really interested in what this company is doing, and also in what this company is pouring. So, without any further ado, we could start wherever you like,
Wonderful.
Jessica.
I heard that Holly likes bubbles, so
I love bubbles.
Let's start with
Hashtag
our
bubblehead.
And maybe you could demonstrate how to properly open a champagne bottle for
Yes.
us, because this is something that you should really be careful about. I think in our preliminary interview, Jessica mentioned she had a rough incident with a champagne bottle. What happened?
I did. Once you uncork it, you have to realize that it's still very combustible if you put a stopper in it. And I was presenting in a store, and a metal stopper popped all the way up and hit me right about here. I almost lost my eye. So we like to talk about the best, most safe way to open our bottles.
Yes.
So
Safety
even
first.
experienced people can have little injuries here and there. But so this is our Campo Viejo Cava. Is a winner of 2 double gold medals, San Francisco competition. And we'll be tasting it in a moment, but I'm gonna have Holly talk you through it, and while I do it, so we can both, so I don't injure anyone.
So you just want to easily, you can remove the foil from the top lip up. There's usually a little perforated line or a little tag that you can pull to remove the foil. You can use your wine key and go around with the wine key. Then you want to only loosen the cage that's on the cork. It's about 6.5 turns to loosen the cage. And then you want to always have your hands on the cage. And the reason being, and then you do not want to point the bottle in anyone's face, and you want to have it at a 45-degree angle. Boom, poof. And so the reason for all of that is when you just heard that pop, that is all this built up pressure that's inside of a bottle. In a fully sparkling wine, there's more pressure inside of a bottle than in a double decker bus tire.
Whoa.
I mean, it's massive amount of pressure built up inside. So that's why you keep your hand on that cage, so that it doesn't come flying out and hit somebody.
Under pressure.
Ding, 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 ding,
Ding,
ding,
ding,
ding.
ding. We have fun on this show.
That was a
Yes.
fantastic song.
Yeah.
Thank
Oh,
you,
look.
Holly.
Thank you.
Well, I'm excited. Look at the bubble. It's just so. See, the thing about bubbly, it's so like, what is it? Audibly like fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the bubbles
could say
make
that.
the bubbles make you happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why you should drink them for any occasion.
Something like meditative. I know that this is not one of the sensory details that we dig into when we drink wine. It's mostly nose, sight, and taste, right? But yeah, lots going on in my ear right now.
You can hear the
That's why it's exciting. Bubbles are exciting.
Oh,
we can pop a pop off the top, then we've got the bubbles, and then we've just got it's exciting.
It's a
Bubbles are
sensory
exciting.
experience, though, is what you're saying. I mean, it really is.
It is
And
a sensory
it involves
experience.
like all of your senses, and that's what's so fun about bubbles. And one of the things that you kind of might be noticing too is that we are drinking our bubbles out of a universal wine glass or a white wine glass. And you might think, oh my goodness, is that proper? Because we're used to seeing flutes. But these days, kind of glassware is evolving for sparkling wines, and it is absolutely also correct. You can drink champagne and sparkling wines, cava, prosecco out of a universal glass as opposed to just a flute, because you are giving the wine the volume, the bubbles volume to travel, but you can get your nose in there and smell the aromatics. I mean, that's what we were talking about. This is sensory experience. You wanting to be able to get your nose in the glass and smell it, and having a little bit of a wider bowl than a flute is going to allow all of those aromatics to be bursting through the glass. And so it's okay, it's easy, and also these are much easier in the dishwasher afterwards than flutes.
Knowledge bomb.
Originally we were coupes, right?
Yeah.
And that made sense because it was a wide
Mm-hmm.
mouth glass when you originally drank champagne.
Yeah, and then they seem to have gone out of fashion. Everyone thought, oh, we must have the tall flute to have the volume. And those are festive. I mean, they always seem very pretty, and so you can certainly, if you want to use a flute and you like that, go for it. There's nothing wrong. And actually, a coupe is coming back. We see them a lot for cocktails, right? I mean, but coupes are actually really good for prosecco because of the shape that they are, and it kind of brings out, if you really want to bring out and elevate the fruitiness of a wine like a prosecco, the coupe shape and the volume is great for that.
Excellent.
Okay, Holly just dropped like a dozen knowledge bombs on you guys. I need 1,000 likes on this show. We're doing pretty good with the views. We broke 1,000 views on a few shows, but we could do better with the likes, guys, okay? And we're going to start charging for these knowledge bombs too, okay? Holly studies hard for this stuff. But this wine, this is cava, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Made in the champagne method.
Made in the champagne method. So this is Spanish's answer to champagne, or Spain's answer to champagne.
Yes.
Is cava.
100%.
And it really, it's not a rice bowl or whatever you guys are thinking of, but cava, the fast casual.
Oh, I have the hummus.
Yes.
It's not some rice bowl with hummus and chickpeas, or well, hummus is made from chickpeas, so that's kind of too much hummus. But this is cava, really delicious, and this flavor profile, like I said, I did a pre-tasting. These wines were so good. Holly, we don't knock or bash wines on the show because we care about the vineyard teams that work so diligently, in the fields. We'll never do that, but this wine does taste like a yellow label champagne.
The other
yellow label for about maybe 20% of the price.
A fraction of the
Retail.
price, yeah, probably about a third or
quarter
of the price.
I'm not as good. I'm not a mathematician. Thank you, ladies. But, okay, so a third of the price. I'm sorry. I was trying to get 20% for you guys, but we have fuel costs. But I don't know if you agree with me, Holly. You're the budding master of wine.
I mean, so like Jess mentioned, this is made in the traditional method, or the method champenoise, the same method as champagne. So it's aged in this bottle. So so you are going to get those autolytic or yeasty characteristics that you would get in a champagne. This is aged for 18 months.
Yep.
Which makes this a reserve. And so you really are getting all those nice yeasty, biscuity notes, just like a champagne, and then you get some nice stone fruit and pear, floral notes as well. So yeah, I mean, this is really a nice ringer for champagne if you're looking for something that's a little bit more affordable, because champagne can get pretty expensive, and so this is a great everyday. So on this show, we're huge proponents of really, don't wait for the celebration to pop open a bottle of bubbles. The special occasion or the celebration is when you open the bottle. So today we are celebrating life and having some bubbles.
And this is the case life, right?
Yeah.
So when you have those unexpected 6 guests come for brunch, or they come over after a nice Friday night and they want to start going after it again. This is the perfect bubbly to start the party on a brunch Saturday or Sunday with your friends. It's also a great cocktail, sparkling. There's 3 different grapes in it, 3 Spanish grapes that are not easy to pronounce, but one of the wonderful things about Campo Viejo is we're really for the people. So we actually have a lot of information on our bottle, like the pairing, like what it tastes like, as well as the grapes that are in here. And it's Exarello, Macbayo, and Paradilla are the 3 grapes that go into this, which are all kind of new to me because I was more of a California salesperson. So you'll notice with Spanish wine.
You'll notice the cat.
The cat really likes the cava.
Yes.
There's a lot of different grapes that you don't get in U.S. wine. So it's also fun to learn about, and that's why we're friendly on the back of our bottle being an international wine.
Now, this is Bozzelli's TV, which is kind of supposed to be the Italian wine show. But you said you're a Cali girl, you work for a Cali winery. Mm-hmm. Both.
Oh, I've sold a lot of California wines in my time at the distributor.
Understood. Okay.
Yes, I've your friend of the show, Christy Lynn, and I worked together, and I sold some of the same wines that she has. So when you taste with Christy, I was selling some of those wines as well. Understood.
Okay, that's fine. We will not hold that against you. But we do love California, and we do support, like I said, we support the vineyard teams, and there's a lot of, California is probably why we're here today. Honestly, even though this is the Italian wine show, but we're meeting with a French company, so all this irony has just got me like lightheaded.
Well, okay. Wine is such a global thing. We
have somebody at the door.
Right? Yes.
This is awesome.
No, we're good.
Are we good? Oh, okay. Just delivery. Okay.
I thought it was more champagne.
Behind door number 2.
More champagne.
You see why we're meeting with Jessica Bonaroti. If you don't see why, please just unsubscribe and go back to watching whatever you were doing. But this was out the gate, home run, props,
value,
bam, value too, saving you money.
Absolutely.
Let me check the price here. Wait, did you verify this with accounting? This can't be like you can't make a profit at this price. Okay, well, don't go to accounting. Okay, I like the price.
You like the price?
Yeah, we like the price. We can save everyone a ton of money on their champagne budgets this season or this summer. We're in rosé. Yeah. It's sparkling season, right?
Absolutely.
So I think we missed the graduations. We're towards the end of June, right?
Back to school for parents who want to celebrate kids going back to school.
I like that.
We certainly have that.
An everyday wine. So one of the great things about cava also is it's low alcohol. So I call it a very great mom wine because every mom's a little better on a glass or 2 of wine, particularly low alcohol. So all of our wits are still about us. But yeah, the Campo Viejo, it has a nice low alcohol for a sparkling wine.
11.5%, guys. That's awesome. Okay,
yeah, very, very easy to drink, very enjoyable, but huge quality, huge value. Absolutely.
Yeah, I want to give it drinkability. I'll give them 95 points on drinkability. I think, Holly, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. This is just, it's a very
You still
enjoyable.
haven't told them the price.
You're
definitely burying the lead here.
Correct. I don't know. I want to check with accounting. I don't want to state anything I can't stand by, but I'm going to go out on a limb because I know Jessica loves us. She's going to get us the best price or keep at these prices. We could probably sell this for $9.99. I'm going to do my best on casewinelife.com.
Holly, what did you give him?
I know. I gave him the best deal.
This was not scripted. This is genuine TV, guys. Okay, we're saving you money. And I'm just excited for the next bottle. I think it looks like we're gonna go to the rosé.
We're gonna go to the rosé, and I just want to say for $9.99, and I've always been, even in college, take the bottle of sparkling to the tailgate instead of the beer. It's just always been my thing.
Yeah.
And I remember pouring Gatorade into my inexpensive sparkling because I couldn't stand the taste of it, and this is so wonderful on its own. But obviously, you can add your orange juice for your mimosas.
But so that inexpensive bottle, is it because, of course, it's not as structured as this. And by the way, Campo is run by females. They're getting it done. They are killing it. I think the winemakers, the founders, are all females, and that's why we love Pernod Ricard, because they're doing a lot for women's empowerment. But that wine that you had at this football game, is it the alcohol content that makes it unpalatable, or?
No. So one of the wonderful things about representing these wines from Spain, Spain is the #1 exporter of grapes from Europe. They have the land still to grow in the right climate. So unlike France and Champagne, where they were very limited for the region and the AVA Champagne, Cava can come from many places in Spain. There's special regions where it's considered better, but the supply isn't limited the way it is of your favorite Napa cabs.
Yes.
There's only so many vines in Napa. There's only so many vines in Champagne.
That's a good thing, but
So the reason why this is the cost that it is because we have the ability to produce more, so it doesn't drive up the cost.
it's just not here yet, but it's getting here. Stay tuned. But now we have this. Wow, look at the color on this rosé, guys. Holly taught me this cool trick. You put a clean sheet of paper behind the glass, and
it's just such a pretty, kind of stunning, like salmon color, I would say.
It really is.
Yeah, it really like pretty sunset color.
See, salmon, it kind of like subtracts from like the color. Like it is salmon.
It is salmon.
But anything that's salmon, you're like, oh, it's salmon. Because it's
I mean,
so
I could say it's
gorgeous.
I could say it's orange pink or pink orange or
my beef is with no pun intended. My beef is with salmon, the word.
How about bubblegum pink?
Oh, there you go.
But it's not sweet.
That's why she's on this show.
I just love the blue and the pink. It does make me think about bubblegum a little bit.
New copper penny. When you get a really, really new copper penny that's like really almost
like that.
pink. You know what I mean?
New copper penny.
Yeah, like rose golds, right?
Rose gold. Rose gold.
Much
there
better
you
than
go.
bubblegum.
Okay.
Rose gold.
Rose
We're going
gold.
with
We're
rose
gonna
gold.
go with rose gold.
This is rose gold. It's not salmon. It's rose gold. Get it
our
right.
wonderful 3 female winemakers decided to make this rosé. It's new the past 3 years, and they're making it with 100% Garnacha, which is a fun grape, and I think makes this a little more masculine than some of the rosés out there. There's quite a bit of flavor. It is a dry rosé. There's still some beautiful fruit characters to it, but I do think the
really
Garnacha
full flavors, from the Garnacha, absolutely.
It's not a wimpy rosé.
It's not a wimpy rosé.
Yeah.
This is not your wimpy rosé.
You can drink some rosés that are beautiful, but they almost leave no taste in your mouth. It's a beautiful wine, but you don't. So you're getting a nice mouthfeel and
I think
great
this is
experience.
the UFC the UFC Conor McGregor of rosés. This rosé, that's why she's on this show, guys.
Exactly.
Smash that like button.
The fruit is just, it's gonna punch you in the mouth. Absolutely.
It's got my mouth watering. It's making me hungry.
Yeah.
Definitely a fun one.
Let's
see. So what I said about our fun bottles is we also tell you great wine food pairings. So
what's it say?
They're recommending salads, sandwiches, pasta, or fish.
Okay. Salmon.
More salmon.
Tuna. You could do. I think it'd be great with some great seared tuna or like a sashimi style tuna or something like that.
I would
Sushi for dinner tonight.
Sushi all day. Sushi.
Yeah,
this is
absolutely.
the sushi rosé. This is the sushi. We were talking about Sushiria, a very hot restaurant, but this is the sushi rosé. I would not enjoy this with grilled salmon. I don't know why. I feel it would subtract from the experience.
Okay.
I think you don't like salmon. I think you hate salmon.
No, I really like salmon.
I'm going with a piece of salmon
Let
with
it
your
go.
California cab.
Let it
Drink
go.
your California cab with your salmon.
You know why we love her too? Because she watches all her shows. That's why. Yeah, I don't know why. I wouldn't pair this with salmon. I just wouldn't. I feel like sushi all day, every day, but I wouldn't pair this with salmon. It just has, maybe it packs too much of a punch. Yeah.
Rosé sushi all day instead of rosé all day.
Yeah, there you go.
That could get expensive.
Maybe it's the minerality.
There is beautiful milk.
There is, and I think you're thinking of whether the brightness of the fruit might compete. If you were talking about charred salmon or like a grilled salmon, I think you were thinking that maybe the brightness of the fruit might compete with the charred flavor of the salmon, or might not kind of go together.
That's why Holly's on the show. Exactly. That's precisely, no joke, what I was thinking of. The charred salmon would not mesh well with this particular.
And look, taste is all a matter of personal preference. So if you don't think it goes, then don't put it together, right?
Okay.
So, I can't say, oh yes or no you're wrong or you're 100% correct. I mean, until we actually sat here and tried it, and and we could say, okay, it goes or it doesn't really go, or I could think of something better, but somebody else might taste it together and be like, wow, I love this. I mean, it's all, that's the beauty of wine, is that it is all about personal preference, and there's no right and wrong with wine. I mean, I'm tasting strawberries and watermelon and, things like the minerality, maybe a little like nectarine or something like that, orange oil. I mean, things that I'm tasting, somebody else is going to get a different flavor profile, and because it's all sense memory. And so, sometimes we like to think about wine instead of, oh, you get this, that flavor, or this goes with that food. It may be just like either drink and eat what you like together, and if it's this and some salmon, great, do it. It's not going to be, the beauty of rosé is that rosé is never, I don't think rosé could ever do harm to a food pairing. Like, the worst it's going to be is neutral, right? I mean, so it may not be the perfect complement to charred or grilled salmon, but it's not going to do harm. It could be a neutral pairing. That's the beauty of rosé.
100%.
And so I think that's kind of where you're going with that. It may not be the perfect pairing in your mind, but it's not going to, where I was kind of thinking is that it's not going to do any harm. It'll be fine. And so and that's kind of the fun about wine.
Yeah, like a salmon roll, maybe, like a sushi salmon roll. I would do it.
We're calling this the Salmon Spain episode.
I like that. That will help with our keyword search, I'm sure. But okay, to all those salmon fishermen, I'm sorry. Fisher women, fisher people, I'm sorry. I will let it go. We love you. And it's an awesome rosé. Let's check the price, guys. Oh, what are they drinking and accounting? Do they have like what's their comp budget? Does every accountant have a mini bar at their desk? Because these prices are out of this world. Yeah, we could probably sell this for like $11, $12. 11, 12, wow. I don't know. I'm not greedy. Just want you guys to have a good time. That's all.
Great deal as well. And it's a screw top, so great for the beach.
Yeah, great for the beach. You don't need one of these guys.
And there's Tiffany blue on the bottom.
And we like Tiffany blue.
Of course. Good for weddings.
Weddings, divorces. What else? Graduation.
Being guys, if you're in the doghouse, get some rosé with Tiffany blue on it. It's a little more affordable than jewelry.
I like that.
And she'll be happy.
No, I like that idea. I love that concept. Yeah, who wants to go to the David Yurman counter when you could just go grab a bottle of Campo Viejo for this? I don't want to say...
You could get both.
You could get both. I don't want to say dirt cheap because I don't want to use the word dirt in comparison to these wines. These are just... Affordable Spanish wines with tremendous value from this awesome French company that's doing a lot for women's empowerment. Like I said, everyone at this company that makes any decision or is allowed to make any decision is a woman. So we love that about this company. Yeah. I'm sure there's somebody.
Carbon neutral.
So the guy in receiving, I'm sorry, but they probably have some guy in receiving, right? I guess I don't know. Maybe they have women in receive, or I don't know. But whatever. Okay. Moving forward now. Let's go to let's try their dry reds. I'm really excited because I think there's this Italian sensibility. Like I said, I had a pre-tasting. I think there's an Italian sensibility to these reds, Jessica. Am I wrong or am I right?
They're European, you know.
Yeah, old world style, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
So old world, Italy, old world. So maybe that's it. You're just an old soul.
There you
That's
go.
why you like
the old world style wines.
And I could pour two, guys. You guys always pour, but I could pour two. But they I don't know. Maybe I over pour, so that's why they like to pour. But I don't want you guys to pour.
Yeah, and talking about value in Spain is still one of the places you can visit and not break your bank. Mm-hmm. And that's part of just the economy in Spain. It's still one of the affordable places to visit in Europe while you're thinking about visiting. And our winery there is wonderful. We built 100% sustainable winery. It's built underground, so everything that we do, all our wines are gravity fed, and we've got over 70,000 barrels. And at any given time, we've got 6,000 bottles of the reservas aging, but it's a beautiful place to visit.
And it's carbon neutral.
Yes, we were the very first certified Spanish winery.
Wow.
Yeah, Campo Viejo kind of led the way with that. So,
like I said, they're doing a lot for sustainability. They're pioneers in that department. Mad props for that.
Yeah, we conserve water. We do all the things that you can do to help the environment.
Awesome.
And this wine is fun. This is the second vintage of this wine. This is our red blend made by our 3 winemakers, and it's a blend of Tempranillo, Garnacha, and Bobal. And they each kind of took their favorite grape and worked on it, and then worked together to blend it together. And I have to say that I know that this is the wine that you should bring to a party.
Really? It's a crowd pleaser, patio pounder.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the other terminology?
Couch.
No, this is not that show. This is not a couch pounder. It could be a patio pounder or crowd pleaser.
Yes.
Thank you, Holly. Okay. So, that's the only time I'll ever correct Holly Rocco on this show, who knows
That's because Christy Lynn is a bad influence.
From Constellation Brands, but it's a big family over here. There's no competition. Everyone is supporting each other.
We're all supporting wine in general.
Yes, supporting wine and supporting drinking responsibly, of course.
Yes, absolutely.
So let's go for that sippy sip, as Gary Vee would say, my mentor.
Oh, what a great guy.
The first thing that really just hits you is all those really just bright aromatics, just like the plum and the cherry and some violet, all just kind of popping out of the all those kind of crushed berries, and just kind of just popping out of the glass, and you get that on the palate. It's rich, it's juicy, it's elegant at the same time, which is interesting because sometimes you might have jammy and whatever, but this isn't. I mean, this has that brightness of that fruit and that fleshy fruit, but it's also elegant at the same time. This is.
It's not different than a lot of the red blends that are out there, I would say.
I think so.
It's a new experience for the red blend because there's no Zinfandel in it.
There's no Zinfandel in it. That's interesting. Okay.
Obviously, being from Spain, that wouldn't be a thing.
But
a lot of the red blends you get, the red blend category is huge, and you will find that a majority of them have quite a bit of Zinfandel in them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is definitely worth if you're in the experimental region of red blends and you like them, this is one you should absolutely try because it might just blow your mind that it's still a red blend like the other one you like, but in a completely different taste category.
With a long old world finish, I might add.
Yes.
So you're
got
really
a little earthiness to it.
It's got a lot of earthiness, and you're getting a lot of
value.
value. Let's check how much value. Wow! Oh my God! Their accounting department they're having a lot of fun in accounting. That's all I have to say, because these are fire sale prices here. I mean, we could probably give you this at $12 a bottle. How's that sound, Jessica?
That's fair price. You're being generous.
I mean, yeah.
Hey,
We're not
Case Wine Life.
Case Wine Life. We want to support your Case Wine Life.
Yeah.
And free shipping on most cases. Definitely free shipping if you spend $175 with us.
And the beauty of this wine is that you can have this with or without food, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially with a little chill on it, no food needed.
Yeah.
But the reason what I had started to lead with is that it's a crowd pleaser, right?
Yeah.
If you drink Malbec, if you drink Pinot Noir, if you drink Cabernet, if you drink Merlot, which no one does still. But
ouch! Some trash talk. I love it.
No, it's a grape. It's a grape.
Oh no! Oh.
It's just the grape.
Oh, I thought that was trash talk. I was
No.
excited.
No, we're disparaging the anti-Merlot drinking phenomenon that occurred in 1994. That is sadly still with us.
Yes, it is.
But there is a Washington state winemaker who's making Merlot great again, and we met with them.
Yeah.
Mad props to what he's doing,
Mm-hmm.
and so we love that. I mean, so yeah,
Merlot's
don't.
a beautiful grape.
Yeah, Merlot's, give every grape a chance. Is that a song or what was that?
I think so.
That was a song.
That's the song.
His name is some legislation. I don't know.
Yeah,
But,
could be that too. We are in the DC area.
Wow, you are 3 for 3, Jessica. You are 3 for 3, and I think you may have saved your I don't know what, I don't want to say the best for last. That's so cliche, but this wine has some special threading, packaging, or something that Holly will explain to you. The genesis of why does this wine have all this going on around it? If you can't see, guys, why does this wine have all this going on around it, Holly?
Oh, there's many reasons or possible stories behind where this comes from. But there, in Spain's past, there have been
Invaders.
But in Spain's past, there has been a king that was afraid of being poisoned. One story goes that there was a king that was afraid of being poisoned, and so anybody who was presenting wine to the court or to the king, they had to be able to show that the wine was not adulterated in any way, and so they came up with the idea of this netting, because if it was pushed to the side like this is now, then you could tell that somehow it had been tampered with, and
Before stickers.
And so that's one reason. Another reason is, again, so nowadays, so we hear oftentimes about wine being forged, unfortunately, and you have people who are not scrupulous, who are tampering with wines, filling bottles with really cheap wines, or that kind of thing.
I'm really interested in wine forgery.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. I mean,
not that I want to commit any, but how
No,
prevalent is it, Holly?
So the Rudy Cardinal, I can never pronounce his last name. Rudy K. We're gonna abbreviate it, Rudy K. But there's a documentary on Netflix called Sour Grapes. That's about him. There's a book that was written in Vino Duplicitas, a great book, by the way, that was written about the Rudy K story. And he was really probably the first one that really brought notoriety to the forgery scene.
As a journalist or as
just a
perpetrator?
A perpetrator.
Wow.
And at the time, there was that incident, and he's since, of course, gone to prison, and then he's been extradited. But these are wines that were like on the auction scene. These are wines like Domaine Romani Conti, things like that. And he opens one.
10 grand or 20 grand?
I mean, I'm not sure exactly what they're buying for on auction, but lots of money. And then he would adulterate them by just putting in like fake juice, or trying to come up with something that resembled some kind of wine, and then people would purchase them at auction and then realize. And there were some French wines that he was doing this too, and it was actually the French winemaker who noticed, wait a minute, he said, it was something about the label or the bottle that of this particular vintage didn't have, so it was very minute, it was something like a detail that might really only the winemaker.
I love
caught,
that.
right?
I love that. He knows his product.
Yeah, and he was like, hold on, this isn't real, you know. And so he went after this winemaker, like went after it. But and then of course by the time they were going to prosecute Rudy Kay, you know, you had judges who were like, well, who cares about some rich people getting ripped off? You know, like I've got better things to do with my time, like fighting, you know, trying, you know, real crime or that kind of thing. You know, who cares about this? But it was like, no, like the entire integrity of the wine market is at stake. And so finally he was, you know, prosecuted. But it took a lot to really kind of get there, and it really set the stage for some other things that have happened within the wine world. There was another one with that I think it's in the Sour Grapes episode as well, where some people bought a bottle of the old Thomas Jefferson's bottles that they thought, there's the Billionaire's Vinegar, that story, that's another really good book. Where
and that's here in Virginia.
Yeah, and where people thought they were buying some old bottles of Thomas Jefferson's and ended up being literally vinegar, but like completely fake. And it was actually the Coors brothers who like went after those forgers and had to hire people to really go after it. And it was these sort of incidents that really kind of brought this attention. But so now a lot of wineries are putting like microchips on their bottles and other things that will help to I think there's not on
but QR
I thought she had a microchip, but she's just pouring herself a glass. I would have poured your glass.
There's a QR code up here that might be difficult to you know fake.
And then this.
The seal, we have a seal.
Yeah,
we have a seal.
And that's Rioja Grand Reserva back here.
So there's ways that they can kind of address this, but prior to all of that, one of the ways that some of the producers of these very nice, you know, Spanish wines, one of the ways they were trying to prevent fraud was to do this netting. So
Back
again,
to the netting.
If
this was,
tangent. If this was adulterated in any way, then you could tell it had been messed with. And so that is probably the real reason, as opposed to the story about the king.
Massive knowledge bomb. Smells like napalm right now, not in the morning. Massive knowledge bomb. I want 1,000 likes for that. Thank you, Jessica, for the sound effects. Love that. Love that. But this is so delicious. What can you tell us about this Rioja Grand Reserva?
So just such a fantastic wine, and what we've talked about throughout the entire show is value. This wine has been aged for 5 years, so we're talking that we're tasting right now at 2013. And I think from your show, you've kind of talked a lot about aging and wines that are vintage. I mean, it's 2021. This wine has been resting, and it is time to drink it.
Wow.
This is going to be completely intense, complex. It's got oak flavors. It's 85% Tempranillo, which is the grape of Rioja. Oh, we didn't cover this. So that people look at this and they call it a Rioja, and that they think that that's what they're drinking, but that is the region in Spain where we make this. But you're actually drinking a Tempranillo when you're drinking.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
That's a little educational bomb.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's a big
That's a big one. We don't want our customers walking into the grocery store. Give me a bottle of Rioja.
But people often say, "I like Riojas."
Yes.
I like Riojas.
And you do, and you can say that. You're not. Again, wine is. We just want you to love it and drink it, and you can call it whatever you want, but. You love wine from the region Rioja.
Yeah, I love Riojas and Cabernets.
and actually, so the beauty of Spain is that they have graciously. I mean, it's Rioja and it's Gran Reserva, but on this bottle they have also printed Tempranillo, because in some regions of the world they don't do that. You just have to know that Rioja means Tempranillo, or that Burgundy and it's red means Pinot Noir. And so that's if wine is not your career, if this is not what you study on a daily basis, you're like, how am I supposed to know all that?
So just watch our show.
Yeah, just exactly.
Yeah. But do you ladies taste licorice?
Yeah, some spices. Yeah, absolutely. Anise. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's 2 years in barrel, in French oak barrels, with and then 36 months cellared in the bottle. So that's why we're drinking the 2013 now.
Wow.
And when we talk about value on this one, for a wine that's been aged this long, this is the most impressive wine you can bring to like a Christmas dinner or a barbecue where you're having burgers and steak, and just up the level of the wine game at the party.
This wine has a $30 flavor profile, no joke. I will stand by this. It has a
for
$30.
2013.
For 2013, this is a $30 flavor profile. I'm sending her whole accounting department to AA because I don't know how they can sell this at this price. We could probably give this to you guys. Now this is like the QVC show, but I don't know. I can't do this. I can't do this. Like what can we retail this for? What can we retail this for? Just to keep our not to
get the trusty calculator out.
Not to stack paper, but just to keep all the people that
any
support our
math.
show.
I'll try to save you guys more money and pour him more.
I know. No one said there'd
I'm
be
getting you
any
a better
math.
deal out there. I want a like.
Thank you.
No one said there'd be any math, but that's probably about the high end of the range. You could, but that's.
Wait, did you do the update on this phone?
I mean that's.
Did you update the calculator?
That's with that kind of a margin, so you could kind of play with that.
I'm thinking $21.99. I mean, is a steal. Like honestly, I just spent $30 a bottle on some wine. And I could have saved $8 if I called Jessica. But she's so busy and she works so hard. And that's what we love her. And she knows her craft and her trade. But yeah, tremendous value for this wine and a lot of Italian sensibility in this wine. That's why we appreciate it. And also, it's coming from I'm so excited. It's coming from female winemakers, and we really want to support them in their efforts, because they are killing it. I do see this. So I had this friend who's in a band, or was in a band, and he said there was a piece about them in Rolling Stone, and the columnist said this could be the next Oasis. I was like, dude, you could be the next.
Minus the fighting of the Gallagher brothers.
You're a bit. You know every band.
Correct. Yeah.
Yes.
She's a big rock buff. Rock and roll buff, but so he said this could be the next Oasis, and I said to my friend, dude, what
That's high praise.
He's like, Mike, that quote is 5 years old, and he was still at the time like working in a restaurant, and I was like, but still, and he's like, Mike, that quote is 5. No, this wine, I do believe, is the next. I don't know. Can I say it? No, I don't want to say it. But we don't like to compare.
Okay.
Should we say it? I don't know. Well, what Holly? I'm gonna let Holly say it. Holly, this wine could be the next.
Oh.
Campo's doing pretty well already.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've been in a hot impact brand 3 years in a row.
Thanks for bailing
This
her
has
out.
gotten an award.
Thank you, Jess.
Yeah, I could list some awards that we've got,
Yeah.
but I don't like to do the boring facts. But yes, this wine is very highly rated, very highly regarded, and
they don't need any praise from us. They're doing just fine.
Exactly.
no, we need
Props.
all the praise. This
Thank
Campo is for everyone. We love. That's our biggest thing is live your most vibrant life. And be authentic and be sustainable, and that's what this wine is all about.
I love it. And who are the winemakers? I think it's listed on the bottle.
Elena is our lead winemaker, and then we've got Clara, and then Nagori.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so they're wonderful.
Female winemakers, guys, and they are killing it. They have this Italian sensibility, this approach to wine. We want to support them in that, of course, because we're shamelessly biased about Italian wines and Italian winemakers. But like she said, they don't need the help. They earned it themselves. We love that. And they're just, they're killing it with their product.
Absolutely.
No, I think the marketing is, I love the labels. They're very elegant and subtle. They're not in your face and like obnoxious. I just think it's and then like just try us, and you'll see what I see.
I didn't drink outside of California, and then my first favorite wine that I was introduced to through my Latin concepts was the Albarino grape. But once I left that restaurant group, I was drinking, so there's just a lot of California wines. I really hadn't been exposed to, I still haven't been exposed to Italian wines. I might have to
we'll bring you back for a Brunello show.
I might have to
Yes.
bomb
Yes.
the Italian show and
Yes.
taste the wines with you guys. But
Absolutely.
I think that if you're a new drinker or even an old drinker, if you haven't explored Spanish wine, Campo is a great introductory brand to bring you to Europe and to taste some old world wines at an affordable price.
I think it's a great, what's the opposite of introductory? I think it's like the brand. No, I will give them mad props. For so much value, especially during these trying times, we understand that, this is the wine. And I don't know why you guys buy a certain wine when you can buy these wines. I don't get it, but we don't bash wines like that on the show. But look for Campo on the shelf.
I mean, you got 2013 here at where are you going to get that right now at this kind of price?
I can't age something in my house to get to 2013.
Me neither. Yeah.
I'm trying to grow a plant
I have to
last
lock those.
Yeah, those would have
that
to be
year.
locked up.
week. For $22
do not
a bottle.
touch.
And you're getting this netting too for $22 a bottle. Very reminiscent of a lot of clarets. One claret specifically.
Yeah.
But yeah, very reminiscent. A lot of clarets, and this may taste like a claret.
A little earthier.
Okay.
Yeah.
May not.
Earthier.
Thanks to our master of wine. But it doesn't need to. It's delicious in its own right, and we love that. And thank you, Jessica Bonaroti of Pernod Ricard, for coming on the show today. We did a pre-tasting with her. She was gracious with her time in the pre-tasting. She's been gracious with her time today, as well as Holly been. Do we need to know anything else going on at Pernod Ricard, Jessica? Anything in the pipeline? I mean, all our viewers are the cool kids, so we like to, give them a heads up.
How about I give a fun fact of
Cool.
something that's happening in the industry right now?
Cool.
So there's a little bit of a champagne shortage right now of the more expensive stuff, not the Cava, the actual true French champagne. But we at Pernod Ricard actually have just been gaining some notoriety of our champagne called GH Mum. And while there's some wines that'll be kind of missing from the shelf in the next couple months, reach for the bottle of GH Mum with the red sash on it, and you will not be disappointed.
Okay, so take her at her word, okay? Because her credibility is like up here with us. Like the
And GH Mum is delicious.
And Holly says GH Mum is delicious.
It has a nice blend of Chardonnay and Pinot Noir and some Meunier in it, but the Pinot Noir gives it a really nice fruit. It gives it some structure, and I have brought it and tasted it with people, and they're like, "Oh my God, what am I drinking?" And when I tell them what the price point is, they're like, "Are you serious? Like, I mean, I can afford this?" And I'm like, "Yeah." But people love that wine. Give it a chance, you will love it.
And what is the appellation of GH Mum?
Champagne.
Oh, it's champagne. Wow,
Yeah.
She just flossed on me, guys. They have a champagne winery. We're talking primo real estate. I mean,
Yeah.
most expensive real estate in the world. Champagne, France. I mean, can you think of a more famous address or region or appellation?
No.
Don't say Napa. Don't
Nope.
say Napa.
No.
It's Champagne. Even as the host of the Italian wine show, Bozzelli's TV, it's Champagne. No,
Champagne
right.
is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cheers.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
Visit
Jessica.
Spain,
Awesome.
buy some
Visit
Campo.
Spain.
Thank you.
Yes.
Salute.
Salud.
And what's the website? CaseOneLife.com.
CaseWineLife.com. Free shipping on all orders above $175. Campo Viejo will be on there as soon as we have stock, because it's
So popular.
so popular. They're the cool kids on the block. Hugely popular. There's a slow ship coming. It's going to be here Wednesday. As you know, the supply chain has been very taxed due to COVID. Holly, at the distribution level, has understands that. Holly, if you want to elaborate for our viewership on the
No need. Just
no need.
supply
It
chain
sucks. It sucks. It's been every day.
I will leave it at that.
Yeah, her job, I mean, her workload was
They
already
know they
crazy.
had to wait in line for toilet paper.
They had to wait in line for TP. but soon you will not have to wait in line for Cava or the rosé or these other delicious reds here. And kudos to the female winemakers. If they ever cross the pond, we would love to host them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we want to support them at every step of the way. Thanks for watching, guys. CaseWineLife.com. Please subscribe. Take care.
Cheers.